Allie Cartwright, and this is Q and Allie. You've got questions, and I've got insight. And this week, many of us are celebrating Christmas. There's lots of other holidays going on this month as well. Yule is this week as well, which is another one that I celebrate. And it's just, there's so much going on this month, especially in life, that has to do with giving and receiving. And I feel like we've gotten this really weird idea around giving and receiving, because it's become so commercialized with companies trying to make money and corporations and all that jazz, and there's lots of aspects you could look at with it. But there's gotten to be a lot of complicated emotions around giving and receiving, and there's a lot of shame around giving and receiving nowadays. Seems like a lot more so than there used to be. Although, I wasn't around in the olden days. Maybe this has always been something going on. But we need to fix it, because as human beings, we are communal creatures. We need community, we need our pack, we need friends, we need family, we need other people who are interacting with us, who we can help and who can help us. Most of us are not made to be independent. I mean, of course, everybody's different, so, I'm sure there's some human out there who doesn't need anybody really, but as a species, we need each other. And so it's really time to get some of the stigma out of giving and receiving and allow there to be joy in it. I feel like we shame ourselves when someone gives us something nice. We feel guilty, like we don't deserve, like we're not supposed to think we deserve it. Like we're supposed to feel guilty. And that's not true. And, it actually lessens the joy that the other person gets for giving it to you. So, and we all know that there is joy in giving to others. And this doesn't have to be about money, you guys. Even when you're poor, there are gifts to give and receive. Lots and lots and lots of non-monetary things that can be done. The best presents aren't wrapped, all that sort of thing. So yes, Estrella, my kitty cat, agrees with me as she screams at you guys from my lap. So for our meditation moment this week, we're doing a loving kindness meditation, a pretty traditional loving kindness style meditation. And in this, we're really, really, really focusing on the giving and receiving, gifting part of a loving kindness meditation. So you start with someone that you love, and then you move on to someone that you like or an acquaintance, and then you move on to someone who you have difficulties with, and then you go to yourself. Now, with a traditional loving kindness meditation, you are giving love and showering these people with gifts through the meditation. And the one thing that's different at the end of this one is, instead of showering yourself with love and gifts, I want you to envision all those people in the beginning of for the rest of the meditation who you showered in love and gifts, showering you in loving gifts. So that's the little alternate part of this loving kindness meditation. And, really leaning into the joy of giving and then the joy of receiving as well, because it's fun to do both and we're allowed to enjoy it. So for our mindful moment this week, I just want you to really allow yourself to focus on the things about the season that you love. This holiday time, there's a lot of us who, as a society, tend to get pulled into the whole thing of being sarcastic and bitter about all of the negatives that you can find about the holiday season. But I mean, it really doesn't help anything unless you're actively taking a stand against something you feel passionate about to change it. So do yourself a favor and lean into the parts that give you joy. You know, if they're having, you know, decorations up around your house gives you joy, then really take time to look at those decorations and just remind yourself how warm and cozy they make you feel. Like, notice that. And or, you know, baking cookies. If you really enjoy baking cookies, then while you're doing it, really like think about how joyous it is that it's this time of year where you get to do this. You know, there are lots of great traditions, and if you don't have any great traditions, you know, there's other things that you can look at. Just being really aware of the good things and focusing on the parts that help you really settle into the joy in life, because there's enough crud going on in the world, and you know, winter's descending in, so people's seasonal affective disorder is acting up, and there's already so much working against you. Lean in to what feels really good. Focus on it. Allow yourself permission to enjoy it. So our mantra moment for this week is I give and receive with joy. And when you take the time to recite this mantra and really allow it to settle into you as truth, it really helps to break through all of that stigma and shame that we've been conditioned to have around giving and receiving. Because really, you don't need to feel guilty about those things. You know, give people gifts out of love and receive gifts from people with love, and just allow that exchange of joy to happen. Really, it's just a good thing. And you know, I am every bit as capable of being sarcastic about life sometimes as the rest of us, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, I love sarcasm, frankly, and it's just, if you live in this constant state of sarcasm and focus on all of these things to be bitter about, then that becomes what your brain looks for. So do yourself a favor. Tune into the joy. Tune into the joy. Okay, everyone. That is it for this episode of Cute and Allie. I hope you all have a wonderful week. Happy Yule, Merry Christmas. If you celebrated Hanukkah, Happy Hanukkah. All the other holidays going on around now. I just hope that whatever you celebrate, if anything, that you are finding all the joy that is possible in every day of your life. As always, live fully, laugh lots, and love yourself.